Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Cardano Community Podcast. Today, we have a very special guest. His name is Ellappan. He is the CEO of EMURGO India. Ellappan, thank you for joining us.
Thank you, Danisha. It's a great opportunity to showcase what we have been doing in India to the global community, global Cardano community. I'm happy to be part of this.
Yes, thank you very much for accepting this invite. So, we spoke earlier just briefly, about the economic growth in India, and so how we structure the interview is that we'll just kind of high level talk about the economic growth in India and
Yeah,
what's that is and how that will play out in the future.
sure.
And we want to speak about, secondly, about the partnerships that you've been acquiring with the different universities and
Yeah,
private schools.
yeah,
And thirdly, we want to speak about, let's say, the future outlook
mhm,
when it comes to blockchain and the implementation for Cardano. So let's start first with the the economic climate in India. Because I mean I've been reading, doing some research, and right now I read that India is the sixth largest economy.
yeah.
And I mean I know India has invested a lot in tech, in the past decade. So how does that look? How do you get to such a spot?
Okay, so maybe first let me give an overview about the Indian condition or what we do in India. Maybe you may get a good idea. Maybe some of the numbers will help you to understand the economics of the whole thing, right? The first data I want to give you is that, see, India as a country, every year, 36 million Indians are getting into higher education. 36 million. The number is much higher than some of the European nation, right? So
Amen.
36 million Indians get into the higher education every year. So that is a large scale of population we are talking about. The second data is about India. We have about 5 million professionals working in IT industry. 5 million.
Wow.
Okay. This 5 million are into various type of IT. It can be BPO, it can be development, architect, IT services. It includes everything. It is 4 million reported by Government of India and 1 million, of course, from outside of the data. So 5 million you can clearly see working in IT, ITES, services industry, right? So
Yes.
that is a large scale of people we have available in India. So anything we do in India, it's very important that we give them jobs. So last 5-7 years, the government's number one priority is to make sure that skill them and make them employable. In spite of all efforts, still employability will continue to be a challenge in India, but we have been progressing. So the success of India is one, that technology side, yes, we are absolutely at par. Second, in terms of skilling people, for example, in my previous assignment about a decade, when
Mm.
Microsoft came to India, when Sun Microsystem came to India, that time it was Oracle came to India, when they want to proliferate their technology, we were helping them to get developers in the market. Like our Cardano, any technology coming into the market, you need to have more developers available to write codes. Then the companies will start using it. So that is successfully done by India. And when, if I'm not wrong, we have certified close to 500,000 people in the span of about 2 years. That made a big change.
That's a 500,000 people.
Half a million, yes.
Wow.
So what happens? You come to a new technology. If a company wants to pick up Cardano, if they realize that programmers or coders are available for Cardano, then obviously the entire equation will change. So today the biggest challenge, either for Cardano or anyone in the technology space, including AI or ML or anyone, the trained talent pool. So that is how India is becoming the sixth largest economy in the world. So across the globe today, you go, you can see the Indian programmer, people are in IT. The IT proliferation is much higher than any other industry. So that's the landscape of India.
That is, if that's like higher than any other industry, that's definitely a
Yes,
landscape.
yes, it's a landscape, absolutely a landscape.
Wow. So what I like about this is that you're saying basically that it's you have a capital market, but you also have, let's say, the government stimulants. So the government is actually stimulating, let's say, this economic growth, stimulating, let's say, the education, higher education,
Yeah,
of IT professionals, and
yeah,
let's say the visionary, of actually understanding that training and skilling these young professionals,
yeah,
will eventually bring in much more companies, larger corporations, once they see and know that here there's a lot of skilled professionals to be found,
yeah,
to actually write our code and help
yeah.
our business to grow.
So exactly, you're absolutely right. That's what it makes a big difference. And if I talk about the education side, definitely yes, there is the private involvement is also very high, right? The higher education, which I spoke about, some 36 million students, that includes arts, science, physics, everything included. To cater to these guys, we have 39,000 colleges and 800 universities in India. Okay,
So many colleges and universities.
yeah, 39,000 colleges and 800 universities
I,
across India.
I read that. I read that in here.
Yeah,
That is a huge amount, of
yeah,
college and universities.
yeah. And some of the universities are as large as like a campus will have about 35 to 40,000 students. Some of the big universities.
Wow.
So that is how for any technology proliferation, India is a very good market to take it up to the market, and the market takes up very enthusiastically, because they also know very importantly, because see, we have large population, but still the unemployment is in the rise. So we have to skill them and we have to give them jobs. So
Yes.
this is a very perfect blend of the requirement as well as again, all the whole world goes by the demand versus supply, right?
Yes.
So that's how we are playing our cards.
I like that. So when it comes to that part, right? I mean, it's very clear now to see how the government is stimulating, let's say, the growth of the education and knowledge economy. To give it a name. Uh, and but Emergo, I noticed that. I mean, within the industry that we're active in, I know that there are certain, let's say, projects that also goes for partnerships with other universities, etc. Right, but not on the scale that I've seen Emergo doing. Um, this is bigger. It's like you can go either for the whales or you can go for the tunas, right? And it seems like Emergo is really going for the whales.
Yeah,
In terms of economies, I mean, come on, an emerging economy like India, that's I consider that to be a whale.
yes,
So where you have a population of such a population, and let's say such uh, a economic environment whereby the government is actively participating in making sure that not only youngsters are being educated, but also they're you know actively let's say attracting investors, and making sure that these youngsters are getting jobs.
yeah. See, definitely, I would like to respond to you the question of about Emergo India, what we are trying to do in the
Yes,
market.
yes, that's the point I was
Yeah.
getting to. Yeah.
So, Indian market, we are looking at about three different verticals to start with. The first one, which you have been seeing in the market, we are getting into the institutions and universities, getting inside, signing with them, and setting up our incubator inside the university. So, the model which in India we are looking at is, first we want to create an awareness about blockchain, right?
Okay.
So, what's
Yes.
happening? Still, the market believes Bitcoin is equal to blockchain, right? And cryptocurrency or a Bitcoin is banned in India. We don't do, and the government said you can't do anything about that, right?
Okay.
But
Correct.
blockchain is the technology; it gets a lot of support from the government. As a technology, it gets a lot of support from the government. So our first thing is that we would like to take the foundation of blockchain program to the whole world. It's a 25 hours of program. Anyone can take. You can be a civil engineer, mechanical engineer, or you can be a computer science student. Our idea is to reach people and tell them that, hey, first understand what is blockchain, all right?
Mhm.
Then you can take a call whether you want to make blockchain as your career or not. Suppose after 25 hours of program, you feel that yes, blockchain is the way, go forward for me. I want to be a developer, architect, or a business analyst, then you take the subsequent program from me. I may offer you a long-term program which gets into a coding, architecting, or all those things I will take you through. But the foundation program clearly covers on what is blockchain, why it is important, what brings to the table for the technology people, why it is so important for every industry, how it is going to impact. And the program ends with 3-4 case studies, the real case studies which got implemented already. So this is what we are trying to take to the market to start with foundation of blockchain. Any institution we sign up with, we'll start with that. Once we get that, you may get some number. From there, only a few will go to the next level. Some will say, okay, I don't want to continue. I understand that blockchain, but now that I want to go to something else. But a few crowd will say that yes, I want to take a blockchain. There, we take them through the next level program. So that's the approach we are taking in India. And definitely for us in India, to reach at least a very small market size, I need at least 3 to 5 years, right? So we started in January, incorporated in January. Now we got into 2 institutions. The work is going on to sign up for students. And we would like to add another 4 or 5 in next 30-40 days of time. Gradually, we keep moving into the market.
Yes.
So that's the approach we are taking in India. Okay, that is for the first product, which is talking about the university or a college tie-up.
Yes, because correct me if I'm wrong, right? I read that it's the REVA University.
Yeah,
So and you also have the PSG College.
yeah, yeah.
Okay. Just for let's say our community, what is the difference between the REVA University and the PSG College?
All right, okay, good. So what happens in India, when a college starts, the college has to function for certain number of years, say 15 years or 20 years. And the central government, the federal government will come and evaluate the college on certain parameters, right? A number of students, number of research papers published, the facilities available, the infrastructure, the number of faculties. Based on that, the college will be moved to the university status. Okay, till you are running like a college, you are supposed to be under an university. You cannot decide your curriculum; it will be decided by the university, and you have to offer, right? Once you show your credibility, once you moved as a university, then you can decide your own curriculum, right?
Yes.
And you can run your own programs. Okay.
So are you saying now that the PSG College that falls on the A University?
No, REVA is falling under the university. PSG is the college.
Yes. Okay. Both of them are under the same umbrella.
Yeah,
PSG and REVA.
yeah, yeah.
Okay, I understand. Okay.
And the advantage of getting into REVA University is, one, we are telling them that any department, it can be civil, mechanical, you can take the foundation program. At the same time, we are talking to the university. Say, university has got a 4-year engineering program. Okay, an engineering program typically every year they will have 2 semesters. So totally in India, if you want to complete engineering, you have to do 8 semesters. That's a structure, right? 7th and 8th semester, you have elective papers. The elective is optional. So you have 3 or 4 options. You can pick up any one of the option.
Yes.
Okay. So today we are talking to make blockchain is one of the elective. So in that case, what will happen? Blockchain, EMURGO will be formally part of their academic curriculum. It will not be outside of their academic curriculum. It will be part of their academic curriculum. So that's a interesting thing to do.
Yes, but okay, maybe you can help us a little bit give us a little bit insight of how this works, because we know that you signed the memorandum of understanding, right? But the memorandum of understanding is just, let's say, it's not an actual contract.
Yeah.
It's your intent, a letter of intentment, basically, right? So how does that work? Explain to us a little bit about the process, because it's not yet a contract. You're more or less, let's say, in the negotiation phase, and setting up the blocks, etc.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
please.
Good question. So see, the MOU is clearly in Indian context what we do. MOU is meaning both of you are agreeing to work together under certain conditions. That's what we call it as an MOU. In this, what already frozen for REVA University or a PSG College of Technologies, one, what EMURGO is going to deliver. EMURGO is going to deliver the classroom sessions, support the student on project. the synchronous learning platform, the content, all those things will be done by EMURGO. What college has to do is they have to provide the infrastructure. They will have one person who is coordinating the entire program coordination. Everything will be done by them, and the college will be responsible for the financials, right? And
Oh,
yeah, and for REVA, the signed agreement would be we will be starting the batch in the month of August, third week, right?
yes,
So
the
that,
third week.
yeah, so now the college has to, the university has to start talking to the students, tell them who are all interested, please reach out to this person, you have to enroll your name, then move, right? So the MOU here is more defined. It's not an intern, it's more of a defined one, right? Suppose if I want to change something in the MOU, for example, now today I signed for an elective paper and people who wants to do the foundation of blockchain. Suppose if I want to make any change, or if the university says, hey, can we offer engineering in blockchain? Then we may sign an addendum to the MOU. There will be one sheet added, addendum will be signed saying that for this particular program, the university has to do something more, EMURGO has to do something more. So the MOU is a defined agreement to start the process.
Yes. That's pretty ambitious, if you ask me. I mean, I'm pretty sure and 100% certain, that you guys have the ability and the resources, to pull this off. Definitely. So what you're saying basically is that, you know, the foundations are, let's say, sets made through the memorandum of understanding,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
And then
yeah,
both parties has, let's say, their own part to play. So Emergo
yeah,
makes sure, let's say, of that the educational part is, they're taking care of that. And when you have the college university, they have to make sure that the infrastructure, within the facilities are well in
yeah,
place, and make sure that the students basically,
yeah.
sign up, for the program.
Yeah. If
Okay.
I put it in a very nutshell, EMURGO will provide the technical know-how and the faculty. College will take care of, or the university will take care of the infra,
Hmm.
student enrollment, space for conducting the program, necessary internet, all those facilities, all will be taken care by the university.
Yes. Okay. I am 100% certain that in India, there's a really big, let's say, gap between, let's say, supply and demand, right? So
Yeah,
there is a demand right now, for blockchain developers, right? But
yeah,
there's a gap, there's a deficit, there's a need, a cry, basically from the industry, from please get us those developers,
you're
right?
absolutely right. Right. See, India, we operate from Bangalore, which is the startup capital of India. Okay, a lot of product companies are in India, based out of Bangalore.
Mhm.
Today, the biggest challenge is for them to get the right manpower, right? And in fact, Emergo, we are trying to use for our advantage. So what we are doing now, when we are going to start the batch, a majority of the portion we are requesting the CXO, the CEO, CTO of a product company who is working in blockchain to come and handle classes for our students. So this way, one, you get the industry perspective. Second, the students' employability also is taken care, because once you take a class, you know whom you want to be in your company, right? So that we are trying to bring both of them into the same platform.
Okay.
But yes, there is a huge requirement coming up for a good professional, and it's a hue and cry in the market. Absolutely yes.
Yes. Okay. So now let's say how long will the courses be? How long will the courses be, by the way?
Yeah. So the currently the foundation of blockchain is about 25 hours of program. Then we have a 160 hours of program which covers everything, right?
Okay.
Which means today we teach them Ethereum and Hyperledger as well, because
Mhm.
that is a natural progression to go to Cardano, right?
Yes.
Because,
Correct.
otherwise, what will happen straight away if I jump in, then it will be the learning path may not be so comfortable for them. Plus, the market requirement of the people wants to know, start with Ethereum because that came first. So they want to know that first, then go to the next level. So the way we structured is that we will give them a brief about these two, then we'll take them to Cardano, and 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 we end with the project or a case study in Cardano from the student side.
Okay. So in terms of months, how many months will it take to complete the full program?
Typically, it will take about 3 to 4 months of time.
3 to 4 months. So in 3 to 4 months, are you saying that they will be fully equipped,
Yeah,
or just
three
on a
to
high
four.
on a higher level?
Okay, so 3 to 4 months of time they'll be fully equipped. But what will happen? The course what we are talking about will have a project included. Okay, the project alone will take about 50 to 100 hours separately, which will be outside of this 185 hours.
Okay.
So that has to be taken separately. So
Okay.
what we do is that the 180 hours, including the foundation of blockchain, this program completely taken care of the end to end, and this is delivered by our faculty. But once we give the work to the student, he has to sit in the hostel or wherever he has a free time. He has to work on that separately, the project side. So that
Yes.
will be over and above this 185 hours.
So that will be in his own free time. Basically, he has to
Yeah,
make sure that he puts in the extra time. Of course,
yeah,
logic.
it's a rigorous training. See, that's what we tell people when we address a student. Uh, because it's not a joke, it's not fun to learn. It is fun to learn, but at the same time, it's a serious business, right?
Yes,
Because
of
somebody
course. You have
will
to
say,
be motivated.
yeah, and you are going to work for an organization, and your contributions are much expected. So better be well equipped before you go to the industry. So that way, it's a serious in nature. And anyone not attending class, now we are keeping the video lecture ready so that they'll be able to access the video lecture as well.
Yes, beautiful, beautiful. Okay, so so now let's say we're at the end of the course. We have the high level. We started from Bitcoin, Ethereum, etc., and then we end up at Cardano. So then we have, let's say, the foundation. Then we goes to coding. That's another part. So then they're fully equipped, they're complete, they're finished, have finished the course, gotten their certificates. But then,
Yeah.
secondly, of course, the university have a responsibility to ensure those students get jobs to a certain degree. So the university and the colleges will have, from their part, partnerships with certain companies where, hey, they might say, I'm looking for student A or whatever. Do you have someone that fits this profile? From EMURGO side, what I'm wondering is, does EMURGO have partnerships as well, that can help boost the careers of these students?
Yeah, we do have a partnership. See, what's happening, it's only about 6 months of operations, right? We are slowly building up our base in the employment side, the company organization side. People are who's willing to take up the student. The
Okay.
product companies or see a lot of IT services organizations. See, India, the IT services is a big business. We do the entire outsourcing. It's a big business. Okay. If I tell you like a company like a TCS, one of the leading company in India, their employment base is about 350,000. So that large organization across,
Wow.
right?
Wow.
And other companies about 300,000. So that's a number we are talking about, right? So now we started working with them, and we are demonstrating what we are doing. In fact, every week we go and present to 2 or 3 companies saying that what we teach to the students, and also we take feedback from them. They say that, here, why don't you teach them this, so I'll be able to hire them. So that work is started now. That work is parallelly going on.
Wow.
Uh, and parallelly, we are doing one more thing. There is something called faculty development program. Okay,
Okay.
the big universities, the government universities, they want their faculty to be trained for 1 or 2 days for on what is blockchain, the introduction to blockchain. Okay,
Yes.
in fact, incidentally, today we conducted a training program for one of the government university called VTU in Bangalore. Okay, this university has got some 600 colleges under them. Okay,
Whoa.
the 600 colleges are controlled by this university.
So wait
Okay,
a second. Are you guys doing like partnerships with that particular university?
it's not a partnership; it's a one-time activity. They wanted their 50 faculties to be trained.
And did they approach Emergo, or did Emergo, let's approach them for a kind of a partnership?
Yes, yes,
Wow, you guys are going to be very busy.
yeah. But see, the one thing is that we just started. Okay, we are just trying to see what we are doing now is, Dinesh, we are picking up the high impact areas, right? The high impact area and a 5-year plan will always help you, right? High
Yes.
impact area is that you pick up a university, you reach thousands of students. You pick up a university, train the teachers, faculties, then your name, the brand will get reaching out to the whole market. That's very important for us, right? End of the day, because
Correct.
India is a large market. Taking into the market is not that easy. India is a country, has got many countries inside. Every state is different, right?
Yeah,
Every city.
understood.
So 1.2 billion, you know that how it makes a big difference. So
That
for us, it's very important to do all these activities. So we are picking up the high impact item where I can create a big impact, and we are going one by one.
understood. I have just a couple more questions, right, to make, let's say, the picture complete. First, I'd like to ask is, are you planning on expanding, your presence in India? Because right now, you only have, I think, one office, but
Mm.
with such an economic power, right, with so many, let's say, different locations, and so many, such a large country, I can imagine that you would like to have multiple presence in multiple areas,
True.
to cater to the different people and needs. So, what are your plans to do that?
Yeah. So the expansion we are planning to start early next year, right? So today, what we are doing now, we created a content and a lot of things we have done. More of a course correction is going on. The delivery started. We are trying to do the course correction. See, for example, our session for a student, it's 60 minutes. So in the 60 minutes, what the faculty who has to teach, we have a line by line definition available. Now some feedback is coming in. Hey, this session it needs 10 more minutes. This session is only 15 minutes. So little bit of a 5% course correction we are doing it, right?
Yes.
Plus the southern part of the India we would like to settle down well. So by early next year we will be going for another 2 or 3 more locations. Plus with the technology we can always do a blended learning. I can always do a blended learning. So only thing is that we want to scale, but at the same time, we do not want to compromise on the fundamentals and the delivery. That's absolutely crucial. So
Yes,
in
that's
the
crucial.
day, we want to make sure that we give the qualified professional to the industry.
Wow.
That's a promise.
Wow. Okay. I love that. I love that. Um, Eve, just lastly, right? Because I can imagine that the community would like to know, what languages would you be learning the students? Because obviously, when people think of Cardano, we think of Haskell, but on the smart contract side, we also think of Plutus and Marlow. So, what will you be teaching the kids, the students?
Of course, Bluetooth and Haskell is going to be part of the game. But to start with, what we are doing, we start with solidity, right? So for them, they get a hang of it. Then we can move them to the other languages. But what we are doing now is, in fact, the last week delivery meeting, we realized that once you teach them either JavaScript or any one of the programming language, if you give a overview for 8 to 10 hours of time, and it is helping the learner to pick up fast. See, once you learn one language properly, from data types to everything, it is easy for you to move to any other language. It's much comfortable. So that so we want to make sure that the guys are learning the fundamental. So either C or a JavaScript, you learn it well, then it's easy for you to move to Solidity. Once you are clear about Solidity, then it's a matter of understanding. See, C and Plutus and Haskell, I think you can easily draw a line, right? And
Nice.
our advantage is India, all the engineering students have to study C as part of the curriculum. Okay. So we want to make sure that they learn one of the programming language before they step into our office.
Nice. I, while you're explaining this, I'm thinking to myself, like, wow, these guys have. It sounds like these guys have actually thought this out really well. It's not like you just do something. I mean, like the whole project. From IOHK to the foundation to Emergo, you see that all parties, have e- every single step that they take has been well thought it out. You know, and I really love that. I really love that. It's Have you anything to add, to this interview, that maybe a question that I've not asked yet, but or something that you would like, to mention to the community, to the Indian community mainly, of course. Anything?
Nothing specific. See, we also know the responsibility of us. We are representing a global brand in India. So the global brand comes with its own standards. Plus, again, I would like to reiterate to the global community or an Indian community, The promise from EMURGO, we'll stick to the promise. The promise is providing quality professionals, blockchain professionals to the industry, and we'll stick to that. And it means that our scalability has to be a little slowed down and we have to make course correction. We will do that as well. But we will make sure that we provide the qualified professionals to the industry. So that's a promise and we'll keep that promise.
Nice. Thanks a lot there, Eve. I appreciate that as well. Actually, I got this question from a IT consultant in the Netherlands, right?
Okay.
He's they want to start a course as well, for their IT professionals, on Haskell and Plutus, etc. So I think the example that EMURGO is taking, it's definitely well, for them to consider such approach. Of course, they'll have to get in contact with people from you guys, to really find out, what is required of a certified, let's say a certified educator. You know what I mean? When wanted to act or teach under the brand of EMURGO or whoever, So
maybe I may take 1 or 2 more minutes to talk about that. Okay.
Sure.
So we keep getting a lot of requests from Southeast Asian countries or Western countries about we would like to launch our academy program. Where can EMURGO help? All those stuff. We keep saying them only one thing, that yes, we are interested. At the same time, many reaches out. They should know 3 things. One is that what is the entry profile? When I talk about an academy, what is the entry profile you have? Whether they understand English, what is the level of understanding about programming? There are a lot of questions to be answered. The second one is, what is the exit profile you want? Once I train your student, say for me in India, I'm very clear. When I complete training, I want this guy to go sit and write code. In your country, what do you want them to do? Then accordingly, the entire delivery map has to be decided. So the entry and exit profile is absolutely crucial. Basis the entire delivery structure to be aligned. So that's exactly we're trying to do in India.
Yes. Wow. Eve, I cannot wait to see what you guys are going to do, how this will play out, all of those different partnerships. And of course, I know it won't stay by these 2. You're expanding, the partnerships. We know that, there's much more to come. I would love, at the end of the year, I'd love to, speak to you again just to see, hey, where are we? How did the enrollment start? How did the program, how are you guys progressing, and what is the status at that time? So at the end of the year, 2019, I'd definitely love to touch base with you again. And,
absolutely.
So that we can just update the community on, let's say, what you guys are doing.
Absolutely, yes. And in any case, you are following our Twitter and all. You keep seeing the updates. So let's stay in touch, and definitely by end of the year, let's have a conversation and see the consolidation of what we have done in the Indian market.
Exactly. We are thrilled and we are pleased and definitely looking forward, to see much more of you guys. Thanks a lot, for your time, and coming on to talk with us here on the Cardano Community Podcast.
Thank you so much, and thanks you for inviting me, and happy to be part of the global forum. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Okay, bye.